There may be uncertainty about the future for the aerospace and defence industries, but one leading British company is bucking the trend, smashing it even. BAE Systems has announced a record intake of apprentices and graduates as it gears itself up for a next generation of innovation and innovators. Well, we're joined by Richard Hamer, MBE, the Education and Skills HR Director at BAE Systems. Richard, we hear stories of young people being told not to think about careers during this difficult time. I guess you don't agree then?
No, I mean, for BAE Systems, we've got a wonderful story to tell about opportunities. So this year we'll be taking on a record 850 apprentices across the UK. So there are literally a shed load of opportunities, about more than 50 different programs that they can apply for at a whole range of different levels, from literally level 2 through up to level 7. So a range of opportunities, and the bulk of those are what we call level 3 A-level equivalent programs. So you can leave directly from school and go to those programs, and about a third are also the higher end degree. So rather than go to university, you can join us and get a degree with us, and then get a job, on completion to graduate level job.
And you also have graduate recruitment as well.
We do. So 850 roles we've got apprentices, and an additional 400 roles for graduates. And that's, again, the highest number ever. So in total, there are 1,250 opportunities in BAE Systems, which is amazing. And of those, 75% of the apprenticeship roles are in the north of England too. And again, I know there's a lot of concerns about opportunities for people in the north. Well, the great bulk of our opportunities, because of the interest in the air sector around Warton and Samlesbury, but also in the submarines business in Barrow-in-Furness, are in the north of England, and great bulk too in the northwest.
Now, across the world, we've seen a real recruitment challenge with issues like school and college closures, lack of exam results, and few interviews as such. How have you coped?
We did have a also existential problem last March, because we were due to do 2,500 interviews face to face, and we had to create a virtual recruitment process. So and we did that through using video on demand. So young people were a bit like I'm doing here, sort of having conversations virtually to pre-scripted questions, and then separately, as we're doing here, video interviews and telephone interviews. So it worked well, and we had a good process. Back to the issue around the exam results and things like that, they still will get a grade, but it will be a grade, isn't it, that will be given to them by the teacher, in a process obviously agreed with the awarding bodies. So we as an employer will still be presented either with CVs that show a qualification already achieved, or a qualification which is the expected one if they haven't yet achieved that, and they would get a prediction from the school. That's what we often see for probably the majority of candidates, and we'll then get a transcript later, have that confirmed.
So with BAE Systems opening the doors to so many young people, I guess there's a confidence in the future, and I know your CEO recently described the need for apprentices as a national priority.
Well, for us, we've got an absolute requirement for future skills. So in our business, I did go back to our HR directors last March when we had the first lockdown, just to calibrate. We were in a difficult situation with lockdown, things like that. Should we take people on? And Alan, in terms of future order book, because of nationally significant projects like Tempest, the next generation of future combat aircraft, Dreadnought, next submarine, we have got a solid order book of work, and we need to train people to be competent to take our technology forward. We've got people, my age or whatever, who will be retiring that we need to replace. We've also got very complex skills which we just can't go out to the market and recruit people who are, aerospace dynamicists or deep aerospace engineers or FOSS software or nuclear engineers to work on submarines. We can't get enough of those people with the right skills in the 30, 35. So it makes complete business sense for us to take people, 17, 19, whatever the age range is, out of school, college or whatever, and then build them and nurture them and create those skills.
So Richard, what should the schools be doing to encourage more young people, girls especially, towards the STEM areas and towards aerospace and defence careers?
Yeah, I think we need to work in partnership with schools. I don't think it's something that schools can do, by themselves. I think we in industry have to be, sort of very close partners in helping to inform and make those decisions. So I think schools can always, I know a lot of uncertainty at the moment about, sort of careers and opportunities. They need to impress upon the young people that those opportunities are there. You know, getting an apprenticeship and being in a training program is a great safety net and an insurance and guarantee of a job that you've got later in life. So that's good. I think schools should also encourage work experience, getting young people to have a taste of what work is like. And we typically offer 400 to 500 placements each year for young people. And I think it's also particularly important from a diversity perspective for young women or whatever girls to see what engineering is really like. And they may have perceptions of it, but actually go in and see it is probably very different from what they might think it is. I know in the current environment, that's very difficult. But what we have done since last autumn is offer virtual work experiences. It's clearly not as rich or as good as it would be if you actually physically, at Walton or Salisbury, seeing us making the type of working on F-35, thinking and designing about Tempest and things like that.
So it sounds like the ideas of partnership and collaboration really do work as you extend it backwards rather than forwards to customers.
Completely agreed, Alan. I think partnership is absolutely central to making things work. And I think it's asking, employers working with schools and also schools, I think, on a long-term basis. We don't just drop into a school once. I think if, like one of our big sites, near Preston or whatever, the company, we've got the STEM ambassadors, they go in to support those schools, run projects year in, year out, get our apprentices and graduates in, schools roadshow, offers of work experience. So young people, hopefully will get more than one experience of BAE Systems in their time. So when they then start to think, when they're a bit older, sort of year 10, 11 or whatever, about, apprenticeships or university, then in the back of their mind, they have that kind of context and, inspiration that this is something which actually, is a real route forward and where there's going to be a good job and a, exciting job involved in things that matter, for the nation and also things that they as young people will be inspired to work in.
Well, thanks, Richard. Well, if you want to know more about BAE and its opportunities for young people, you can go to baesystems.com/apprentices. And if you want more reasons to be cheerful about the aerospace and defence prospect as a whole, subscribe to our website, wearefin.com.